Hi, second graders, it's Miss Spada. Wanted to help you break down your writing task for this week a little bit more. Last week we did an informational writing piece. We did a report. This week we're focusing more on a creative writing task. And I want you to think of the words task, audience, purpose to help you break down this writing assignment. Task starts with a T. Audience is an A, and purpose is a P. If I were to use those first letters of that word, I've got T, A, P. If you think tap before you write something, it can kind of help you break it down a little bit more so you can understand why you're writing it, what's it going to be about, and who's it going to be for. So if we think of the word task, a task is really what it is we are writing. So you are this week writing an invitation. And it is an invitation to a garden party or an outdoor party. And it doesn't have to be a real garden party. It can be a made-up garden party, imaginary, which could be a lot more fun than if you were doing something more real. All right, if we think of audience, we just did task. If we think of our audience, that is, who are we writing this for? So the audience is, who are we writing this for? Who are you inviting? You are going to need to think of that on your own. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your soccer coach or a celebrity. It's important you think of who you're writing something for before you start writing it so that you know the kinds of words and language you want to use. Example, you probably talk differently to your family than you do at school. Or maybe than you do when you're at soccer practice or if you go to a church. And that's a good thing, that we think about where we are and how we should talk based on where we are and how we should write based on who we're writing to. So we always want to think of who are we writing this for. In this case, it's who do you want to come to your garden party. And your purpose. This is often the place where we get to persuade if we want someone to do something. And the purpose is kind of why we're doing what we're doing. Why are we writing this? And the reason why is you're inviting someone to a party. I need to erase that. And don't feel like you have to write these words down unless it helps you. It might just help you from now on to think of writing down the word tap or just think of it in your head. What's my task? What am I writing? That's kind of the what. Why am I writing it? Who am I writing it for? That's the audience. And why am I writing this? And that's the purpose. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty and think about our invitation, what that might look like. When you are writing an invitation, you are still giving information, which is pretty funny because last week we spent the whole week writing out information. Well, we're going to do the same thing today, this week. This time we get to be a little more creative. So there are 5 W's here, and there are 5 W question words that tell us information. The first word we want to write down is who. And you do not have to do who first. This is just an example. So you could put what first. What? Where? Can you think of the other 2? You probably said when and why. All right, let's break those down even more. Who is this party for? So I know you're thinking of your audience up here. Who are you writing it for? You still need to think of that and be aware of that. Who are you inviting? Who are you writing this for? But The who on the invitation is telling us whose party is this. And so this is the part where it's going to be your name. What is going to be, what is it you're inviting someone to? So you're inviting someone to your garden party. And maybe it's not just going to be any garden party. Maybe it'll be something a little more themed. In just a minute, I'll give you some examples. Where is this party going to take place? And so for some of you, this is probably your house. But I'll give you some examples in just a minute where maybe you want to say, it's not just in your house. But most garden parties take place outside as well. But maybe yours is different. It's not going to be an outside garden party. You could totally have a creative inside garden party. When is really the time? People need to know what time to get to your garden party and the date. They need to know what day. So when you say when, you're really talking about two different things. The last is why. And it's the reason why you're inviting someone. Now, there was a word up here that's really going to help us. And it's the purpose. Why are you inviting someone to this party? Why? Now, this is an opportunity here to almost persuade, but make it sound exciting. And persuading is when you get the audience or your reader or the person you're sending this to do what you want them to do. And so you're not going to have to persuade a lot, but this is where you tell them, the purpose of this party. So I'll leave it as that. Now let me change colors and let's do an example to break it down even more for you. So your name up here, under the who section, if you started with who on your invitation, you could say, who's this for? You could say it's for Jasmine. That's me. It's my garden party. You could put your first name. You could put your last name if you wanted. What is it? Well, it is, let's see, I wanted to put it is a themed tea party. I wanted to have a princess garden party. So this is where I say maybe it's a basketball garden party. Maybe it's a Pokemon garden party. Maybe it's, a dinosaur garden party. Whatever kind of garden party you want it to be, you could put your theme on there. Maybe it's an inside-outside garden party. You're going to go inside and outside of your house. Now, this is the part you can be creative on too. You can think of where you would want your garden party to be. You don't actually have to do the garden party. So if you're not really going to do it, think of the craziest, wildest place that's maybe an outside good place for a outdoor party that you could do it. No, I'm not talking about like a water park exactly like that, although I love water parks. I'm thinking about a great place you could just be outside altogether or having a party at. So I might just say it's going to be in Jasmine's backyard. Now, normally, if you know your address, you could also put your address, especially if you're really sending this to someone. When is the time and the date? So my party is going to be at 2 o'clock. Now, I can't just leave it at 2, although most people would probably know that I wouldn't want to have a party at 2 in the morning. That's a.m. I'm going to make sure I put p.m. I could also write it 2 o'clock, like that, p.m. And I can make my party however long it is I want to make it. For me, 2 hours is long enough because we've got family that likes to linger a lot longer than that. So if I just say 2 hours, they're probably going to be there all evening. It's okay. We'll order a pizza. It'll be good. And the date, that's going to be the day when you want your party. So I'm going to make up my date and say April 7th, in the middle of the week. And I'll put the year. Now, this is the fun part, the purpose. Why we're having this party. It's a princess garden party. It's in my backyard. I'm going to make it sound good. I'm going to say, come enjoy tea and treats, because we're going to have like a tea garden party. Maybe you're going to have like a milkshake garden party or like a Slurpee garden party or ice cream garden party or something with fun food. I know it's going to be healthy food, but we can also put some fun food in there too, although healthy food can be very, very fun. Come enjoy tea and treats with princesses. And I might say a special note. And that's why I did this little star here. Because sometimes with invitations, they want you to do something special or bring something special. So I might say, kind of ran out of room on the paper, but I might say, dress as your favorite princess. Maybe I want my guests to dress up. Oh, come as your princess. Look at that. Actually, I just put prince. Come as your favorite princess. So this kind of breaks it down a little bit for you. If you can read my messy handwriting, then it's probably helped some, or hopefully it has. Now, when you do this, do your best job of making it look like your neatest handwriting. And when you do yours, you may want to erase these things here. Let's say your name. Erase these and just put the facts on there. You don't have to explain what each word means. And I bet you in your house somewhere, you might even have an old invitation that you could look at to help you come up with how you want your invitation to look. Maybe you're going to decorate it, put it in a different shape. Maybe you're going to make it look nice, bubble writing, something fun like that. The last step for this assignment was a menu. So let me show you on a new page how that might look. Up at the top, I might put menu. And I'm going to list all the different kinds of foods and drinks that I might have. Now, the task asked you to come up with some healthy food options. So I wouldn't really serve this, but I could come up with some ideas like Princess Jasmine's coconut mango mix or something like that. Maybe I'll have like fruit that's coconut and mango. And that's a Princess Jasmine coconut mango mix. Now, those don't grow in Kentucky, but in science this week, we're definitely learning about things that are growing outside like plants, and then we're looking in our own backyard. So you could do things that you actually have in your backyards. Cinderella. You notice I'm sticking with my theme here. Cinderellas, sweet berries. Maybe I have, now I'm going to do one other thing. Maybe I have a treat. I did say there's going to be some treats. So maybe I have like Rapunzel's cakes or something like that. Rapunzel's cake. Maybe it's going to be like lemon cake because her hair's yellow or something. Maybe I want to erase it and make Rapunzel's golden yellow or golden lemon cake. Maybe it's going to be cake pops. I can have a fun treat on there. And last but not least, how about a drink? It's a tea party after all. Sleeping. Sleeping Beauties. Sleepy Time tea. I have this tea in my pantry called Sleepy Time tea, and it's kind of like a mint tea. Now I could add some pictures of some of these things. I could draw like a teacup. That is really hard to see with the green I picked. Maybe I can make it better. Do not pick that green. Maybe I could draw like a picture of the cake. A little lemon cake or something. Maybe I draw a picture of some of the berries. Maybe I even do like the mango or coconut. And so you can make it look really fun and nice too. And, if I was going to do my husband's baseball theme or something, I could use different words that go with whatever theme I've got. I could have, Dee Dee Gregorius's cookies or something like that, You just make it go with your theme and have a lot of fun being creative. You're still telling information, but you're getting to do it in a much more creative way. And I cannot wait to see what you all come up with. Hopefully this has helped. I cannot wait to see your invitations and your menus. So have fun with this, guys. I know you're going to love this type of creative writing.